Hey guys, I'm Jade. Today is my LeetCode review vlog on the 128th problem, longest consecutive sequence. We are given an unsorted array of integers, nums. We have to return the length of the longest consecutive elements sequence. We must write an algorithm that runs in big O of n time. Let's see example 1 here. We got a nums input array 100, 4, 200, 1, 3, 2, and the output is 4. This is because the longest consecutive elements sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, its length is 4. Next, let's get started with our intuition to solve the problem. So the keyword is hash set. We can place all the elements into a hash set and iterate over the array, and for each element, we'll check if it is the start of a sequence. If so, we'll continue to check for the next consecutive elements until we found another one. Then, we'll update the maximum sequence length, and after the iteration ended, we return the maximum sequence length we found so far. Next, let's get started with our code to solve the problem. So the first step is we have to check those edge cases, which is nums.length equals 0. In this case, we just return 0. And the second step, we have to create an integer state. Let's call it num state and assign a new empty hash set to it. Next, we have to put all the numbers in nums array and into the num state. Let's create an enhanced for loop. Let's say in num column nums and num state at num. Next, we'll create a variable to keep track of the maximum length we found so far. Let's say int longest streak, let's call it, oops, and start it at 0. Next, we'll create another enhanced for loop to help us iterate through the set. Let's say for int num state. And inside the for loop, for each element, we'll check if it is the start of a sequence. And the code is if now symbol num state contains of num minus 1. If so, which means we'll only start counting if num is the start of the sequence, which is we have to get the current num equals num, and we have to create another current streak started at 0 but at 1. Next, we'll continue the sequence counting as long as consecutive numbers are found, and we have to create a while loop to help us do that. While num set contains of current num num plus 1. If so, which means we found the next consecutive element, so we have to increment current num and current streak. Current num plus plus current streak plus plus. And out of the while loop, we have to update the longest streak we found so far. And the code is longest streak equals math.max of longest streak and the current streak. And out of the for loop, we'll return the longest streak we found. Then, let's check the correctness and analyze the time and space complexity. Yes, our code got accepted. So the time complexity, it is big O of n, as the problem asks for. Although it looks like there are needed nested loops, but each element is processed in the inner while loop only once across all iterations of the outer loop. And this maintains the overall time complexity at big O of n, because every element is put into the hash set once, and each possible part of a sequence is checked once. And for the space complexity, it is big O of n too, because we have created a hash set to store all the elements inside. And this is the end of my LeetCode review vlog on the longest consecutive sequence problem. And I really recommend you guys to visit my online GitHub page here. You can see the problem description, intuition, Java solution with annotation, and the final time and space complexity. And you can see all the top 150 LeetCode review notes here. And you can also visit my GitHub repository here. You can get all the notes and codes to build this online GitHub page. And I'll put these two links on my YouTube description below. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.